Hey friends, welcome into TexAgs Rewind presented by Specs in the Rollo Insurance Studio. I'm David Nuno. We had a fun show. McKinley Polanski and Nick Savage here helping me kind of update the folks on what the show was about. Your favorite part, McKinley?
My favorite part was Billy's rant.
Yeah, I mean, the message was good. I didn't like his tone towards me on that one, to be very honest with you. I didn't like it. Like, I wanted to get one word in with the segment closing, and you won't talk. Nick,
Okay,
your favorite part?
Hopefully you can hear me over all the yelling, but I like SEC Mike's hit today. He's very bullish on the Aggies. He thinks they're going to roll in Auburn, and I hope to goodness he's right.
My favorite part was Olin Buchanan to start off the show. I love when drama happens, and we talked about a little drama. And I just kind of wish some of these guys would give me that drama, but that's all right. And the final countdown was great. That and more. It is the TexAgs Rewind. Check it.
Last one, number 15, Texas A&M is traveling to Auburn. They're playing at Jordan-Hare Stadium at 6:30 p.m. on ESPN. Texas A&M is favored by 2.5 points.
You know, I don't do well on the Aggies this year. They keep letting me down.
A&M's going to win by 10. Okay? That's what I'm saying it. Boom. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong.
I'm taking the Aggies.
I'm taking the Aggies by 10.
By 10?
By 10.
I'll take them and give the 2.5.
Yeah, well, I mean.
All I need to do is win by 3.
Yeah.
And you know what? Again, what could be a close game, Randy Bond has been almost automatic in every state but Florida.
And they have not been
And
good.
they're very sporadic in their kicking game.
They have a walk-on who's now their starting kicker. He's doing their field goals, I should say. Their original starting kicker is doing the kickoffs, but he has missed a lot of game-changing field goals. So this walk-on from Alabama, Birmingham, I believe it is, that he came from, I think he's been the guy recently. He's been much more successful. I'm taking him. I mean, I'm sorry, I'm not taking him. I'm taking him to A&M, and I'm taking them to miss field goals in this game.
Yes.
That was poorly worded.
A&M does have the advantage in the kicking game, it would appear.
Where else does A&M have the advantage?
Well, I think A&M's
quarterback?
Oh, yeah.
Offensive line?
Probably, yeah.
Running back? Wash?
No.
Even?
Yeah, probably. I'm gonna be objective and say Jarquez Hunter has the edge there.
But it's a slight edge?
We're just calling it an edge.
An edge. Wide receiver, they have the edge?
Oh, yeah, they got the edge.
Defensive line, A&M has the edge?
A&M.
Linebacker?
Probably a wash.
Secondary, they got the edge.
Maybe. It depends on who you play.
Yeah. That's a good point.
You know, statistics can be deceiving.
They sure can.
Ole Miss going in there this weekend, Mike. Here's where I'm at with Ole Miss. It's interesting. I think they're playing as good as anybody in the conference, maybe better. But we do these things, and I actually heard Olin say this morning. A&M's not been playing good of late. I'm like, okay, well, what was of late? They've played one game in the last this will be 2 weeks between or 3 weeks between SEC games. They played poorly against South Carolina. The time before that we saw them, they were outscoring LSU 31-6 in the second half. So I feel like everyone goes too high, too low. With Ole Miss, I mean, I'm like, they looked amazing against Georgia. Everyone's beaten up on Arkansas, including LSU. I think, wasn't they trailing to OU at halftime? And in the game before that, they lost to LSU on the road.
Yep.
So, yes, I am buying Ole Miss, but I'm not buying that they're above reverting back to one of these kind of ho-hum games on the road. My question is, does Florida have a chance? I'm picking Ole Miss to win this thing. Does Florida have a chance to win at the Swamp and shake up this SEC race?
Mm-hmm. I mean, they got a shot. I'm with you, though. I think Ole Miss is the best team in the conference right now. I have them winning. I think the score I predicted is 42-17. And that says more about Ole Miss than it does Florida. But, yeah, they have a shot. Because for all the talk this week, and I'm sure you guys, everyone listening heard that, Mike Elko, we're focused on Texas, Auburn. But I think even a bigger storyline that has not gone and discussed is Lane Kiffin sitting here saying, well, we don't want to go to the SEC championship. Buddy, you got 2 games before you should even open your mouth and discuss a game you have never been to.
True.
So they're looking ahead. He's politicking. He said, we haven't had Trey Harris these last couple weeks. We didn't have Princely for LSU. We didn't have Princely for Kentucky. I mean, he is in full campaign mode for the college football playoff to ensure that his team does not get left out at 10-2. Well, buddy, you're 8-2. So maybe let your team do the talking. He's already looking ahead to that. So that, I think, would be the real danger. And if Florida, if they can start fast and keep that crowd in the game, that's a recipe. Unfortunately for them, it's a noon game, and it'd be. Yeah. I like their odds a lot better if it was a night game down there in the swamp. But
the one that I said was in question, like really interesting, would be SEC title game. Now remember, the playoffs are what, 2 weeks or a week after that? I think
it's like December 20th or something.
Yeah, it's basically 2 weeks after the SEC title game. So you're talking about another week to Texas, another week to the SEC title game, and then 2 weeks to the playoff. That's 4 weeks. Ruben Owens might be like ready. He probably would be ready to roll if you're sitting here like hosting a playoff game at Kyle Field or playing in a playoff game. So it is very noteworthy. When people say he's returned to practice, it's more about he's out there going through stuff. I don't think he's lining up and running up.
He's not like running back two out there. Yeah.
Running live, getting tackled against the, So, but that's not far off. So the Texas game, I would be surprised if you saw like an impactful Ruben Owens come in and impact the game with like, several carries or some big play. But we'll see. You start to see what Mike Elko is and his staff's approach are to some of these longer-term injuries when guys come back. They definitely like to ease the guys back in. You saw it with Jabri Barber. Yep. It's kind of they prefer like a ramp-up process where, hey, if you're practicing, you can go out there, but it doesn't look like we're not going to overload you. But it seems like they like to get the guy into a little flow of live action football if they can. And I think that could be what you see tomorrow from Chase Besantis. Could. There's also, we could get out there, we might be out there before the game and say he's not suited up because he is listed still as of last night as doubtful. So could see that. But the good news there is that if you don't, or you do, whichever, there's still a real chance he would be out there as your starting guard against Texas.
I'll go. I'm going to go straight up. A&M's going to win this game, and I agree with what we talked about earlier, David. I think they win in that 7-10 range and setting us up nicely for the biggest game in Kyle Field history. A&M covers. Boom.
Yeah, I'm there with you, buddy. There's no chance I'm picking against A&M this week. We got to have this one.
Like I said, one team's at 1-8, and they're 5-1. This says 6-1, so they're misled me here.
They lied to us. Yeah.
I think they're 5-1 in the league, and the other team's won 4 games, and they're 1-5 in the league. Mm-hmm. I know that guarantees nothing, especially in the SEC, but I do think it tells you over the course of a 10-game body of work that for several reasons, A&M's the better football team. If they're playing at home, I think the Aggies roll in this one. They're not. I think it closens it up. I'm going to go with the little wimpy pick here, and I think A&M barely covers. I think the Aggies win like 24-20, 27-23.
And I will take that.
I will too. It's going to be really stressful, but I think the Aggies win close and cover.
I will take it a win uncover for that matter and be very happy about it.
Oh my gosh, I'm not ready for that. I would love, Nuno, for you to be right. It's like a 31-21 type of game. That would be so much more enjoyable. In fact, what if I would love to see the Aggies just put it all together and say this is
us.
2 halves of LSU football. This is the Missouri game.
Let us come out the way that South Carolina came out against us.
Yeah,
exactly right.
This is the Missouri game all over again. Like I'd like to see one of those type effort, or because every game we just mentioned, the home team did it. South Carolina, A&M. Let me go see them play like they went and showed up at
Florida.
What is it? Ben Hill Griffin Stadium, at Florida Field, at the Swan. Let's go see something like that.
Let's do it.
Look, I went through. We'll talk about that later. It's not a big deal. I went and looked up A&M's. No, I was curious last night. A&M's record against every SEC team, and they're like 57-45 since joining the league. I would like to see it against other programs. I bet it's like fourth out of the.
All right, Pulaski, if you can, tell the people what to do, but I want you to do it with a serious, like almost angry face, if you can. Can't smile.
Like, comment, subscribe, share, follow.
Yeah, that was. I mean,
I tried.
you did really good. You did good. You did pretty good. We'll see you next time.